Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. So today's video is all about products that I have really enjoyed using the past 6 months. I always call it my half year video. There is a couple of fails in here, but I'll leave them till a little bit later. And as a little bit of a disclaimer, they may not have been new products on the market, but they are definitely new additions to my collection. Most of them are going to be drugstore products. But I do have a few, I'm going to say Sephora products, not necessarily like high-end products, but Sephora products, because there is quite a price range at Sephora. There's a nice mix here of most, I'm going to say face categories, face makeup categories. But what I am excluding is some of the skincare products. I thought about tossing them into this video, but I just came to the realization that I did have some of these in 2 recent videos. I will stick the thumbnails over here. So I didn't want to go into another whole explanation about them. But what I'll do is link those videos down below if you haven't had a chance to check them out. And they are definitely products that have been well used the past 6 months and ones that I really enjoy and think that they do a great job on mature skin. So for the rest of these, we're just going to get started. Now I'm going to discuss the products in an order of how I usually apply them onto my face. I purposely did not apply any powder today onto my face. The reason for that is I wanted you to see how well the products look on skin. Most of the products that I am showing you, I also have used them on my face today. So if I look a little bit either radiant, glowy, whatever, hydrated, any of those terms, that's the reason. If I was going out today, I probably would put a little bit of powder kind of around my eye area just because it is very glowy. But a lot of these products really enhance and make the skin look radiant. So the first product that I use today under my eyes is a new find for me. I'm gonna say I've started using it for about six to 7 weeks now. It's by Roc. It's the Multi Correction Revive and Glow Eye Balm. This is such a fantastic little product. I am so happy that I found it. So it's an eye balm that you can use even throughout the day if you have concealer under your eye. This does not disturb the concealer. And I did have it in a video not that long ago, and I did do a little experiment with it and showed you how well it looked even when I applied it, like halfway through the day, and my makeup still looked really fresh. It revived the concealer. What I really like about it is it has vitamin C in it, which really helps brighten the under eye area. But I think it's really been helping with my dark circles. And that's what it's designed to do. It's supposed to help puffiness and dark circles over a period of time of using it. So that's why I've really been trying to use it consistently. And I think my under eye area looks a little bit more hydrated. I love the way that it is really fast absorbing. So you put it on. You don't necessarily even have to like rub it in or tap it in. A lot of the times I do kind of pat it in to just kind of help it sink into the skin. But great product for under the eyes, especially for mature skin. It also helps the concealer last a little bit longer throughout the day. At least that's my experience with it. I was going to say one other thing. I'm going to do more speed review type of a process rather than in-depth review of each product. So many of these I have had on my channel, and there is a lot of products to get through. So I don't want this video to be excessively long. If my explanation is a little bit shorter than I usually do, that's the reason, just for the essence of time. So the next product I have applied are eyeshadow sticks. Drugstore version, and then I also have a higher end version. So these ones are by Covergirl, and it's the Clean Eye Color. I picked up 2 shades because I really enjoyed them. The first one I picked up was Bronze Glow, and then I also picked up Ballerina Blush. These glide on super easy. You don't need a brush or anything like that. I just put it on and blend it in, usually with my finger. And I've used a bunch of different products on my eyes today because I wanted to be a little extra, and so I tried to use everything that I'm going to show you today. On my lid, Ballerina Blush. So Bronze Glow, Ballerina Blush. And they do look so pretty together when you combine them. Very creamy, very pigmented, doesn't crease. So they've been working out great. Now, another brand that has done an amazing job with an eyeshadow that is in a stick formula is by PrimeEyes. If you're not familiar with them, they are a brand that is specifically designed for mature skin, over 50 skin, and their products are amazing. This is not in any way being sponsored by them. They don't even know that I'm showing you guys these. And I will say, as a little disclaimer, as content creators, if a brand actually is sponsoring a video, it's a requirement by YouTube that we have to disclose that. So anytime, I will always tell you guys if something is being sponsored or not. So none of these products are sponsored. These are products that I have purchased with my money. So I just wanted to put that out there. But what I enjoy about these shadow sticks, so they originally had 2 or 3 shades, and then these ones are just so pretty. One is called Afterglow, and the other one is called Violeta. These are so creamy. They glide on. There's no tugging on our mature skin, right? Sometimes it can be a little bit too mobile. The skin's kind of moving around. These just glide over. So this shade is Afterglow, and that's the Violeta. They blend easily, and I think these ones are so great for travel. I've been taking these with me a lot with the traveling that I've been doing for my full-time job. They're just so quick and easy. Throw them in my makeup bag. Same with the Covergirl. Both of them take up very little room. And then if you are interested in a powder eyeshadow palette, the one that I've been using a lot lately, and I like just how it's so small and compact, is the one by MAC. This particular one is called Embedded in Burgundy. It's so quick. Like, I just love how it's only 6 shades. I use all of the shades. My go-to is actually this one here. I use this one a lot as my base transition shade. And then depending on what look I'm looking for that day, I'll either use this dark one, like a chocolate brown in the outer corner, but they blend in so nicely, very little effort, very pigmented. MAC is a great brand for eyeshadows. And I don't get a lot of fallout. I don't get a lot of creasing, fading, anything like that. So great, great little eyeshadow palette. Now the next product that I have on my face has become just a tiny little bit of an obsession for me since I discovered it a couple of months ago. It's a new product and it's by the brand Lise Watier. So Lise Watier is a Canadian brand, just if you haven't watched my channel before. I do like to show Lise Watier and also Marcel products because they are Canadian brands and they are just exceptional quality. But this is one of the products that is helping me get this beautiful, glow, radiant look to my skin today. And it's called the Perfection Glow Boosting Tinted Serum. I have this in the shade 150C. This is a micro droplet technology in the product. Hopefully the camera can pick it up and you can see all like the little beads in there. Now I like to use this on a day where I am not looking for anything like medium coverage, full coverage, anything like that. This is a definite light coverage serum, but it does a fantastic job of evening out my skin tone, just giving me some glow, some radiance. My skin looks hydrated, healthy looking, and it gives such a beautiful, like a dewy kind of look. Now with this product, you have to use a brush with it. That is what they recommend, how to work it into the skin. So what I do is I take it onto the back of my hand. I pick up just a little bit onto my brush, and then I start blending it into my skin using I'm going to say more of a circular motion. So in the B-roll, you'll see me applying it that way. I have only applied it to half of my face because I wanted to show you the light coverage that it gives, but how my skin looks way glowier. And it just hid a little bit of the imperfections that I have on my cheeks, like my hyperpigmentation here. It just kind of blended it out very, very slightly. So I'm just going to blend it in. And you'll be able to see how it just covers up my veins ever so much. Lovely glow and radiance. So the perfect product if you're looking for a no makeup kind of look. Some of the ingredients are Canadian ginseng. and another ingredient called Vitis flower. So really nourishing skincare loving ingredients. Now I did want a little bit of extra coverage today because I'm on camera and I just needed a little bit more coverage than the Lise Watier. I did go in with the Maybelline, the Superstay, the Lumi Matte Foundation. I think even if you have dry, mature skin, you would really enjoy this one. My only suggestion would be to make sure your skin is well hydrated because it is, like it says, it's a semi-matte. So sometimes I can look a little bit too matte for my liking. So I just always make sure my skin is well hydrated with all of my skincare products. And then I also go a little bit extra with a primer. Otherwise, this is a fantastic foundation. Love it. Very lightweight. Great for the summertime, especially if you are somebody that is in a hot or a humid climate. I did a whole video on this. I will link that one down below. You can go check it out. I actually have had it in a few other videos since then. I've talked about this lots. I think this is a great product that Maybelline has come out with. I will tell you, I do have it in the shade 118. That's the shade there. But you can see how well the two products kind of marry together. And the Lise Watier, I find, just enhances that Maybelline so that it doesn't look matte on my face at all. Another product that is more of a skin tint, but I've been using this one a lot as well. I'm almost like, you can see the little tube here is running low. It's the L'Oreal Lumi Le Glow Tint. I have this one in the shade 120 Neutral. This one comes as a pump. This really does give a glowiness, and I did have this one recently in a video, so I'm not going to go into too much detail as well. And even a few weeks ago I was pairing these two together and they were working great together, and then I started pairing the Maybelline with the Lise Watier. So I'm always playing around with different formulas and seeing what works and what doesn't, but this one is a big hit. Look at that glowiness from that L'Oreal. So it's a perfect product for a no makeup day. Now the concealer that I am absolutely loving right now is by a brand I actually was not familiar with. It's one that's carried at Sephora. I don't know about you, but I'm finding even now, as prices are just fluctuating here and there, the lines between drugstore and, I'm going to say Sephora. Now I'm not going to say high-end, but more Sephora products. It's definitely becoming more blurred, because drugstore prices are really starting to creep up. So I was really happy when I found this concealer by the brand Kulfi, and this is called the Main Match Concealer. But this has such wonderful, nourishing skincare ingredients for under the eyes. It has rosehip extract, saffron flower extract, licorice root extract. So it has all of these wonderful ingredients. And just keep in mind what I said. I have not applied any sort of powder at all, and that includes under my eyes. So even now, after I've had this on for like actually a couple of hours before I started filming, you can see how hydrated my under eyes still look. And that's what this does. It is a very hydrating concealer. I have very, very little creasing with this. Depends on if I maybe have applied too much. I get a little bit of creasing just under my eye area there. But all I do is I just take my finger and I kind of tap it in, and then I'm good. Like it only will do it once if it does it at all. It's just like a normal wand. There's nothing special about the wand. Fantastic job on my under eyes, like darkness under my eyes. I do have it in the shade Ice Berry, but even now, as you can see it on the camera, like look at how luminous that looks. And that doesn't go away, like throughout the day. It stays hydrated. I'm going to say it gives more of a medium coverage. It's not full coverage at all. And I always make that note in every video that I always apply a little bit of color corrector with every concealer that I wear. I always have a little bit of a peach color corrector under there. The other nice thing about this is it's a self-setting concealer. So there is a lot of days where I don't use a powder at all. So look at how well that blended in. It's a really like a comfortable concealer. It doesn't ever look cakey on me. And keep in mind, as you'll see in the B-roll, I usually only apply just a tiny little bit into the corner where I'm the darkest. And I apply a little bit on the end here to kind of clean up any sort of eyeshadow and to kind of give my eyes a bit of a uplift effect. And it almost gives like a bit of a softness to under the eye. I like that when I have a hydrating product that it doesn't make my eyes look dry or accentuates all of the wrinkles or fine lines that I have going on. This one just kind of smooths it out. And that's why I mentioned to you the combination of this Roc product and then a really great concealer just looks amazing. So I'm blown away by this concealer. I think it is just absolutely wonderful. I have two eyeliners to show you. One of them is become my all-time favorite. Use it every day. I use it for tight lining, and I also use it just to run along my upper lash line, but very, very close to the lashes, just to give the lashes a little bit of a fullness, like a look of fullness to them. And it's the one by Stila. This is the Stila Stay All Day Smudge and Waterproof Gel Eyeliner, but it's the particular shade Damsel Dark Brown. I don't usually wear black eyeliners. I think that black is such a harsh color, but I think if you use something like this that's a nice dark brown, it does still leave the eye with a little bit of softness. It's really, I find it really hard to find a gel eyeliner that doesn't transfer onto my bottom waterline, because I usually don't put anything on my bottom area here. So this one is wonderful for that. It does not do any sort of transferring. It stays true. And it's a great formula. It doesn't smudge. It doesn't budge all day. What I end up doing sometimes is when I do apply it to my upper lash line, I just go in with like a little angled brush and smooth out the line. It doesn't do any skipping. Like, it's very smooth with the gel formula. But sometimes I just want a little bit extra softness to the eye. So that's when I just take my angled brush and I soften the line up. Just diffuses it out a little bit better. So just a little tip for you if you do that. And then the other one that I picked up, this was actually a viewer recommendation, and I'm so happy that she recommended it to me because it's a wonderful, wonderful pencil. And it's also by Lise Watier, but it was the particular shade of Fauve. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it just comes across as a beautiful, almost like a taupey gray. So it's this one right here. That was the Stila right there. This is the Lise Watier. Oh, it just is so pretty. I'm in love with the shade. So when I'm not using this one for tight lining, because this one is also a gel eyeliner and it also is waterproof. Today, I used it on my bottom lash line, and that's where I use it the most. Very creamy. It is a pencil you have to sharpen, whereas the Stila is a retractable one. So just lovely to use. So there's only been one mascara that I have been loving, using it nonstop. I actually have to run out and grab another tube of it. I'm just waiting for it to come on sale again. But it's the L'Oreal The Paradise Big Deal Mascara. Did a whole video on it. I will link that down below as well. One of the things that is so enjoyable about it is it doesn't flake, doesn't smudge, doesn't clump. As an experiment on the video, I put an obscene amount of layers on and it did not clump at all. It does have one of those flexi type of wands. Can't say enough about it. Makes my lashes look full, lots of volume, lots of lengthening. I do have a few complexion type of products. So the one that I am using as a bronzer today is by Physicians Formula. This is the Butter Glow and Go, the Cheeks, Eyes, and Lips Stick. Another product that I've been taking with me traveling, because how compact can you get? You've got a bronzer and a blush on this end here. So that's the shade of the bronzer. I have this actually, just hold on a second. Let me see what I have this. I have it in Beachy Pink. Oh my goodness, like it is super blendable and creamy. Like look at how easy that's blending in. So you could, if you wanted to, you could blend it in with your fingers. I just prefer to use a brush myself, but it's just so creamy. What you'll see me doing in the B-roll is I did add just like a stripe to my cheek and I blended it in. I did a little bit up here with contouring. It smells amazing. It smells like you're at a beach on a tropical vacation. Now I did not use the blush, but I will show you the shade. It's like a hot pink. But it doesn't come across that way. Like when you actually put it on, it's quite pretty. But again, see how easy that's blending in? Like look at that, little effort. So fantastic product. Can't say enough about this one. Now the blush that I am wearing today is by Rare Beauty, but it's her new, it's like a cream to powder blush. It's called the Soft Pinch Bouncy Matte Blush. I have it in the shade Hope. Now what's very unique about this blush is when I press on this, it actually feels like putty. It's such a different consistency. I love how it's a buildable formula. That's the shade there. So when you're blending it in, it blends like a cream, but it actually blurs like a powder. But it doesn't accentuate fine lines. It doesn't look cakey. What I did today was I just used a fluffy blush brush, but you just need a little bit on the brush. And then once you start blending it in, it's very buildable. I'll even put a little bit more on here. But even though it says it's matte, it does have a little bit of a hint of glowiness still poking through on my skin. I like how the formula doesn't make my cheeks look like dry at all. Sometimes powder blushes can look dry. So that's what's nice about this is it has that cream to powder formula. So really have been enjoying this one. And then the other bronzer type of product I've been using is another one by Rare Beauty. Again, not being sponsored by her. This is her Soft Pinch Liquid Contour. I have it in the shade Mellow. So what it does is it comes as a stick. I usually just apply it to the back of my hand and then I use a brush and apply it that way. So really pretty shade. But again, it just blends in super easy. You don't need a lot of this to give nice coverage. If you want, you could definitely use this straight as a contour. I prefer to use it as a bronzer. So it's a great product to use if you want luminosity to your face. And then a drugstore blush that I've been enjoying is one by Milani. This is the Cheek Kiss Liquid Blush and Glow. I have it in the shade Pink Cava. You don't need a lot of product to come up on the top. It has one of those sponge tip applicators. So I usually try and just bring up a little bit like that. I've been able to keep this fairly clean, which it's hard to do with sponge tip applicators. You can see the shade is right here. It's a very light pink, super blendable. I like how it gives more of a glow, but I just like the convenience of it, of how it's just this little tube. Another quick and easy travel type of product you can just throw in your makeup bag and doesn't take up a lot of room. And then the one product I didn't use today because I think I had enough glowiness and dewiness going on, so I didn't want to add to it. But this is definitely a great product if you like highlighters. So it's by L'Oreal. It's the Lumi Le Glace. So it kind of goes with this whole Lumi line, like the skin tint that they have going as well. I have this in the shade Glassy Pearl. This is really amazing. Like this stuff is amazing. You can see it right here. And it really looks like glass. So if you want that glass skin effect on your face, this is fabulous. Okay, so this category is where I have just a few, I'm going to say extras because I love lip type of products. Anything that goes on the lips, I have a mild obsession with those type of things. So we're going to start first with lip liners. So the ones that I discovered this year that I think are wonderful are by Maybelline, and they're the Lifter liners. I have two shades. One is called Out of Line, and one is called Big Lift. Now I use Big Lift more. As you can see here, I have been sharpening them, but you can see the difference in the sizes. I do use this one a little bit more because the shade is so pretty. So Big Lift is more of a dark dusty rose, whereas Out of Line is more of like a true nude shade. Very compatible with lots of different lip colors. They glide on very smoothly. And as I say repeatedly in all of my videos, when I use lip liner, I always fill in my whole lip. Just makes your lipsticks stay on longer. So that's why I'm very particular about the shade that I put on my lip, so that it's going to complement the lipstick or whatever I'm putting on my lips. And then the other brand that came out with some new lip liners this year is the brand Merit. So I actually am wearing one of the Merit lip liners today. Now they did come out with a few different shades, but the one that I really, really like is called Coupe. And that's what I have on today. So I filled in my whole lip, and you can see it's more, well, I'll add a little bit more here. These ones are so comfortable to wear and glide on so easily. Oh my goodness. So this one also is, it's more of just a regular dusty rose. It's a lighter pink, but it has, I'm going to say, more of a mauve-y look to it. And then the other shade that I have is this one right here. It's called Beverly Hills. So that's the Coupe. That's the one that I'm wearing on my lips right now. And then this is Beverly Hills. It's more of a lighter pink. Both of these shades are so pretty. Such a pretty, pretty packaging. They are retractable. And these were a new launch for Merit this year. Now this next product was actually a relaunch of, it sounded like they had this like quite a while ago, and then they brought it back with a different formula. This is the Revlon Super Lustrous Glass Shine Balm. I have this one in the shade Glossed Up Rose. Instantly, your lips look so shiny. It's more of a sheer formula, but it does leave a good amount of color on your lips. It's very comfortable. Your lips look really hydrated. It's one of the formulas that's like not a sticky formula, which I really appreciate that. So this is also one of those great products for like a no makeup day. And it does have a little bit of a scent to it, more like a candy scent, like cotton candy. Now, even though e.l.f. came out with a bunch of lip oils last year, they did have some new shades that came out this year. And this particular shade I'm obsessed with. It's called Candy Coated. It is so pretty. It looks like a little bit of a pink with glitter in it. It does have ever so slight amount of like a little bit of a, not a tingle really. It's just more like a coolness. Hopefully you can see there, it just leaves a little bit of a sheen. There's lots of times I'll just wear this alone if I just want a little bit of hydration on my lips, and super affordable because it's e.l.f. Now this was a new brand for me. I really haven't tried a lot of his products, but it's by Jason Wu, and it is a lip product, but you can also use it in multiple different ways. The actual name of it is called Hot Fluff. And you can use it on your lips, your cheeks. One video, I even used it a little bit on my, like an eyeshadow. I love this shade in particular. It's called Apple Pie. Super creamy, blendable, very pigmented. Like even when I put it on my lips, it lasted for a considerable amount of time during the day. And then I couldn't include doing some like a halfway favorites video without including some City Beauty. I love their lip glosses. They have amazing, amazing plumping lip glosses. They have recently released 2 shades for the summer. So one is cherry and one is raspberry. Look at how beautiful these are. So the cherry is just stunning. What I enjoy about their products is you can just use them alone by themselves. Like you don't even need to wear a lip, like a lipstick. So that's cherry. And this shade would be gorgeous, like at Christmas time. And the raspberry is like next level. But it's really, really pretty. There's raspberry. I think that right now they are having a sale. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get this video out in time by the sale end date, but I'll try to. I think there's a sale until July 7th, but if it's still going on when I edit the video and get the video out, I'll put that down in the description box for you. I think it's buy one, get one free, which is always a great deal. But if you've never used them, they are fantastic lip glosses. They are a true lip plumper. Gives a tingling effect to the lips, but it's not overpowering and really does give like real fullness to the lips. But the lip oils that have become my absolute favorites. And this is like all-time favorites for a lip oil. These are just on another level. I don't know what it is about the formula, but it's the ones by L'Oreal. These are the L'Oreal Plump Ambition Hyaluron Lip Oils. I have 3 different shades that I picked up. One is called Worth It, one is called Milky New, and the other one is Crystal Clear. So what I did today was I took Worth It, I applied it after that lip liner, that Merit lip liner that I had on. This is such a pretty shade. I love even the wand. Like the wand is just really comfortable on the lip. It's perfect. There's just something about the formula. It is hard to describe. It is not an overly tingly plumping lip oil. It leaves just a little bit of coolness, but you can feel it is definitely doing something. I love the scent to it. It smells, has just like a little bit of a sweetness to it. Feels very comfortable. It's not sticky. Like right now I can feel just a little bit of like a coolness, like if you have like peppermint gum, you go like that and have that coolness. That's kind of what that feels like on the lips. Amazing, amazing. If you haven't had the opportunity to try these out, I highly recommend. Now I think I'm doing pretty good with only having 2 products that I think are, I'm not going to say they're fails. They just didn't work for me, for my skin, but they may certainly work for you. Always keep in mind, everybody has different skin texture, skin tones. So what doesn't work on me may work for you. Everybody has their own experiences with makeup as well. So just keep that in mind. So the first one that I want to talk about is by Revlon. So it's the Revlon Glimmer Brightening Concealer. Now, I don't know whether I had what expectations I had for this product. I always look at a concealer as a concealer is supposed to cover up my darkness. I have a lot of darkness under my eye. This one just didn't do that for me. When I first used it, I really liked it. And I used it for a good 3-4 days in a row. I always like to try out products before I say, you know, it's not a great one or whatever. I always like to experiment and make sure I give it a fair chance. Well, by the 3rd day that I used this, like the first day went actually okay. I liked it. Whatever, maybe the products I used under for my base under my eye, I don't know if that made a difference. But by the 3rd day, it wasn't concealing of, you know, that darkness that I had going on. And keep in mind, I was using a color corrector as well. I found by the end of the night, it was actually fading a lot. Like I could really see the darkness under my eyes. And I'm like, oh, well, that's not great. It is doing exactly what it says. It is a brightening concealer. So it definitely brightened under my eyes. But even now, if you can, it's gonna maybe hard to see, but even now I can still see the veins right here. Yeah, like even my veins right now, I can kind of see the purple through of my vein. I don't know, it just like the formula seemed even at the end of the night, it looked a little bit, not necessarily cakey, but it was settling into my fine lines. Like you could really see all of my crow's feet. They were there. So not a great product for me, but like I said, it may work for you. Then the other one that I just was like, meh, it didn't really do anything, was the NYX The Face Glue. So it's a primer. Well, like my expectations were that I thought it was going to be really grippy because that's the claim on it. It's like a really grippy primer. So it's just like a little squeezy tube bottle. And when it goes on, it almost looks like glue. Like it really does look like glue. And I wore it. Again, I wore it for several days because it said it was going to be really grippy. Your makeup's really going to stick. Well, this was really no different than any other primer I've worn. Like right now, like there's no real stickiness as I'm doing this. My expectation is if I want a grippy primer, I'm going to go to my e.l.f. one. Like e.l.f. has that really grippy, keep your makeup on primer. But this was just like, meh, Nothing like, this is again my opinion, nothing spectacular about it. But let me know if you've tried either of these ones, if they worked for you. So hopefully you enjoyed my halfway through the year product reviews. You're probably going to see a lot of these at my end of the year one that I always do a video. Actually, a couple of different videos. I break it down into categories, and I do one at the very end of the year of all the products I've tried, and if maybe my opinion has changed on them or not, if I'm still loving them. But so far, these are the products, except for those 2 fails I showed you, these are the products I'm absolutely in love with right now. I will have everything linked and listed down below in the description box for you. And then in addition, I will try and add some videos also of videos where I have tried out these products if you want more in-depth reviews. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe if you're not already. And as always, I hope everybody has a great week and a great life, and I'll see you all very soon in my next video. Bye.